Okay, let's see. It's kind of hiding up here in all the writing, but the next one that we need to do is number 12. This says the negative of 2 to the 5th. So 2 to the 5th is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. But the negative of 32 is negative 32 plus 4 to the 1/2. Remember, raising it to the 1/2 power is basically saying please take the square root of that number. So the square root of 4 is 2. Remember, we're just assuming we're going to deal with the positive square roots. So negative 32 plus 2 equals negative 30. There's your answer. 7 to the negative 1 power is the same as 1 over 7 to the first power, or just 1/7, times 49 to the 1/2 power. Remember, to the 1/2 power tells you to take the square root of 49. Okay? And I'm just going to make that look like a fraction by placing it over 1 as well. Okay. The square root of 49 is 7, or negative 7, but we're just going to assume that we're going to use the positive roots. So 1 times 7 is 7 on the top, and 7 times 1 is 7 on the bottom. And final answer is 1. Okay, next one, m to the 4th, and then negative m to the negative 4th. Well, this is inside in here. So this is m to the negative 4, which is 1 over m to the 4th, and the negative of that. Okay? M times m times m times m is always going to be positive. 1 times 1 times 1 times 1 is always positive, but I'm asking for the negative of all of that after it's all done. So all of this right here is me evaluating this part, and then multiplied by m over 4, which is this first part. I'll make it look like a fraction. Negative 1 times m to the 4th over m to the 4th times 1. And you have negative m to the 4th over m to the 4th. And that is negative 1 when it's all said and done. All right, 1,000 to the negative, no, not negative, 1,000 to the 1/3 power. That's the same as saying, please take the cube root of 1,000. The cube root of 1,000 is 10. Because 10 times 10 times 10 gives you 1,000. And then it says 25 to the negative 1/2. Well, that's going to be 1 over 25 to the 1/2. 25 to the 1/2 really is the square root of 25. And what is the square root of 25? It is 5. So all of this, when you're done, comes out to 1/5. So you're multiplying 10 times 1/5. Really, you can think that's 10 over 1 times 1 over 5, which is 10 over 5, and your final answer is 2. Okay, number 6 says b to the 3rd times b to the 1/3. Okay. Okay, so this one is b to the 3rd, and you're multiplying it by the cube root of b. But also, if you will remember this rule right here, When you have a to the m times a to the n, you add your exponents. So basically you have b to the third times b to the 1/3, and that's going to be b to the 3 1/3. Okay. So b to the 3 1/3. I'm going to do an improper fraction here. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. b to the 10 thirds. That's kind of a nightmare. But anyway, you would add those together, 3 1/3. b to the 3 1/3 power. Okay. All right, number 17, x to the negative 1/2. Well, that's going to be 1 over x to the 1/2. And remember, x to the 1/2 is asking you to take the square root. So that's really 1 over the square root of x. And then all of that's going to multiply by this other part over here. This 4 is outside, so you're going to raise the 2 to the 4th power. You're also going to raise the x to the 4th power. Okay, it's not a fraction, so everything can just be placed over 1. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. X times x times x times x is x to the 4th. And I'm just going to put a placeholder 1. So 1 times all of this, 16 x to the 4th over square root of x. I'm going to leave it like this, although technically that's not simplified because they don't like square roots in the denominator, but we're just going to leave it like that for right now. Okay, any number raised to the 0 power, remember, is 1. And then 16 to the 1/4 power is basically asking you, please take the 4th root of 16. What number, what times what times what times what gives you 16? And that is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 gives you 16. So you wind up with 1 times 2, and that equals 2.